What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy G Waterz of Solar Streets. In this episode, we have the legendary Mr. Melvin Riley, frontman of Ready for the World. Give us many hits. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Oh
Definitely.
man, oh man. I tell you, first I just want to say this interview is really for my childhood self. I grew up on records like Old Sheila, Love
Yes.
You Down, Tonight, New Edition, Cameo, and that whole era when music really inspired us.
Oh,
You
beautiful.
all helped shape what music felt like for me. So before we even get into it, I just want to say thank you for the music.
Thank you, man. Thank you for appreciating it. And we won't stop. We just keep
Oh,
doing
please
it.
don't, please don't stop. All right, so let's get into it. Before we get into the hits and the new album, I want to start with your foundation. You were born in Mississippi and raised in Flint, Michigan. What did young Melvin Riley see, hear, and experience coming up that helped shape the man, the musician, and the legend you became?
I grew up in Flint, Michigan, like you said, but I was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And
Okay.
every summer I would have to go back to Clarksdale, Mississippi and breathe that culture. And that culture was a lot of blues, and I
Mm,
grew up, when there are a lot of people listening to a lot of the stuff on the radio, I grew up listening to the blues because my Uncle Hall and my dad would drive to Mississippi every summer and up until I was probably the age of 12 or 13 years old. So I got that culture, but I think I got that storytelling from just years of listening to the blues and knowing how they felt, what they felt. And in blues, when they sing, they mean it. And I think I grew up listening to that vibe, and that kind of shaped my musical career. And as far as a man, my mom and dad so inspirational. I would tell them they're the best parents a person could ever have. And I
mm.
think that culture just brought me to be the person that I am.
Nice, nice. You went from wanting to play football to becoming a multi-instrumentalist and frontman. What pulled you fully into music, and when did you realize you had more than just a voice?
You know what? I didn't know I had a voice. Actually, I was into sports. The women at school brought me into the fold of wanting to be in a talent show.
Wow.
So I really wanted to be a football player, but I saw how the girls would scream when guys were in the talent show. And I went to a talent show audition just to sit down and laugh at the guys that were in it. But when they started to sing, the girls fell in love. I'm like, I'm gonna be in a talent show next year.
Man, what songs would you sing in talent shows?
I sang Enchantment. Which one was it? We did Gloria.
Gloria, yeah, okay.
We did It's You That I Need.
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah, man.
Good
Enchant.
stuff. When I first heard Oh Sheila, I heard why people compare Ready for the World to Prince and that Minneapolis funk energy. But at the same time, the group still carved out its own lane. How did you process those comparisons while building your own identity?
As far as, carving out my identity and the whole nine, I think it's a gift, if I understand your question correct.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, I think you can't get away from a gift that God gives you, that writing ability, that talent. Even though your direction is something else that you might want to do, I think something that's innate in you comes out, and it's up to you to kind of hone that skill that God blessed you with, which is that songwriting. And like I said, I didn't know I could sing until I was, getting into talent shows.
Yeah,
And so that gift is something that you kind of got to cultivate and work hard at seeing, hey, how good do I want to be at what God blessed me with? This gift of music, this gift of writing, this gift of singing, take it to the hill.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
Even after 40 years, people still connect Oh Sheila to Sheila E. Do you ever get tired of correcting that story? And who is, if anyone, was the real Sheila?
We just have fun, with it. The Oh Sheila was a fictional character, okay?
What?
And I came up with the song when I was like 18, 17, 18 years old in my basement. And I had different names. I had Oh Lisa, I had, Oh Sharon and Oh Sheila. And Oh Sheila just kind of worked with what I was writing with.
That was a bad name back in the day. Like everybody,
Yeah.
I knew a Sheila who was bad. We lost her this year, but she
Oh,
was
okay, sorry.
beautiful, 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 beautiful. So I used that song.
Uh, okay, I'm sorry for your loss, brother. But
Thank
yeah,
you, thank you, thank you.
that is definitely how Sheila came up, but I don't get tired of it. We have fun with it. And that whole Prince era, that Sheila E era. Hey, that was a great era
Good
of
times.
music, man. Definitely.
Nice, nice. Love You Down is one of those records that keeps finding new generations. I even sing it at karaoke.
All right.
So I know firsthand how much it still connects with people. When you made it, did you have any idea it would live this long?
I was talking to a buddy the other day and I said, man, we look up and it's 40 years later and oh Sheila and Love You Down and who even whose is it? It's just still
Who
there.
is it? Yeah,
And that's just so cool, man. I to expect it's gonna be that relevant years later, you don't know. You just when you're in the studio, you do what you do, you feel what you feel, and you never know where it may go from there. And look, we look up 40 years later, and Love You Down is still being played on the radio like it was just released last week,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
it's just so cool, man.
The Jerry curl was crazy back then. So how did y'all come in with the Jerry? How did that whole Jerry curl thing happen? Like everyone had it, but like, is there an origin when everybody just started having it?
I tell you, it's a story, man. Everybody in the music industry would say, yeah, y'all got the best curls,
For
man.
real?
But we came in, because that was the style back in the 80s. But Miss Triplet, which is one of the band members' mom, perfected, excuse me, the curl.
Hmm.
And so it just so happens that we blew up, and here we are with the best curls in the world because Miss Triplet already knew how to do it. And so and everybody's like, man, y'all curls look different from everybody. I said, it's Miss Triplet.
It's got to. All right. Ready for the World came in at a time when image, sound, and personality all mattered. What do you think made the group connect so strongly with the fans during that era?
I think it was the era of that same vibe, that music. Everybody connected their vibes. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
when we're coming out of high school in the 80s and then the 90s came, it was just that era, man. Music goes and shifts in different eras, and it was just that time, and it was some of the best music that people continue to say right now, some of the best music during that 80s, 90s era, man. It just
Yeah, I would have to agree.
yeah.
What was tour life like back then?
Absolutely mind blowing. Our first tour was with Luther Vandross.
Oh my God.
So we really didn't expect to get out on the road so soon, but when Tonight came out, it got so much attention. By the time Sheila came, it was this magic going on, and so they asked us to open up for Luther Vandross because that was just a great match at the time.
Hmm.
And here we are. We went from the basement to next thing we were performing in front of 15,000 fans of Luther's and growing our fan base at the same time. So it was just exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big look too. Luther Vandross at
Oh,
that time.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
You have spoken about some of the harsh realities of the music industry when you were teenagers signed to a major label. If you could go back and give a 19-year-old Melvin one piece of business advice, what would it be?
You know, I really kept right there where I was supposed to be, I think. You got to have an attorney that's going to teach you the business.
Hmm.
And that's one thing I got to learn from my attorney, Kendall Mentor, back in the day. So to tell my I would say good job because you listen to your attorneys.
Yeah,
That's
you
how I
don't hear that answer that often. There's always a big long,
right.
yeah, like that's good.
And that's yeah, and I say that to a lot of, of my fellow artists, the attorney that you get means everything because if they don't teach you that business, then it's kind of unfair. And you shouldn't really hire an attorney that's not going to teach you the business when you're a new artist because this is a crazy business and you need someone that really knows the ins and outs. And if your attorney is really with you, they should definitely teach you the business. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to win over the record companies contracts and become this that it just means that you understand what's going on so when you go ahead and renegotiate you know what to do.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
When you look at young artists today, what do you think they still need to understand about publishing, ownership, contracts, and protecting themselves in this business?
If you are a viable artist, you're getting a platform, you're getting radio airplay. You got to surround yourself with a team that knows what they're doing. Just because you can sing or write a song doesn't mean you understand this business. And that is what I would tell these new artists that's jumping in here. Surround yourself with an attorney that's going to sit you down and give you the main, synopsis of what this business and how do you make your money long term in this business. And that, because now that things have changed, you got streaming, you've
Hmm.
got social media promotion and marketing, then you got to go ahead and make sure you understand publishing. Then you have to understand what masters are. So just educate yourself on this business at the same time, continue to do what your craft is.
Nice. Okay. I have been supporting Forget About Her on Solar Streets, and even with its new sound, it still brings me back to the feeling of that golden era when artists really had it on Smash. Congratulations on
Thank
your musical evolution. And with this record, how important was it for you to move forward sonically while still keeping that feeling people love you for?
on that particular song,
Hmm.
on the Forget About Her.
Yes.
That's just what's in me, man. Me and a guy, Derek Joshua, a guitarist that was going out on the road with me, just has a great ear for music, man. And I heard a track that he was doing back, man, a few years ago. And it aligned with my mind and my head space when it comes to music. And I said, I can flip that and make that what it should be, along with what it is that you're doing with the music. So Derek Joshua and I got together, man, and this explosive song, man, that we think is one of the top songs on the album.
Yeah.
Forget About Her, man. It just came out explosive. And then I had it mixed by Greg Riley up in Detroit at
Okay.
the also had it mastered up there, but also with Samuel Overall, him doing another engineer of mine as well that came impactful and did some, incredible things in the studio, man. So that song just came out great.
Yeah, this song is dope. I mean, it just brings back good. It's good vibes. So
Thank you, man.
can
I
never get, can
appreciate
never,
that.
even though we gotta forget about her,
And
but we,
you got a great ear for picking that out too.
oh, thank you, thank
Yeah,
you. I
yeah.
mean, I try to. I mean, you kind of put me in the zone of picking big, great songs when you came out with "Oh Sheila." I've been listening to the hits for so long. It's like I gotta be able to pick the hits.
And my cousin called me, man. Keith, my cousin Keith called me. He said, "Man, I'm gonna pick the album song right now." And he said, Forget About Her is the one. And I said, well, it's rock and roll. He's like, yeah.
It don't matter.
He said, man, this song is so incredible. So I said, I appreciate that because I don't believe in a color barrier when it comes to music. Whatever is good should be out there. I don't care who brings it, as long as it's great and it comes from the right place.
Right.
And I think that Forget About Her, which I hope we can cross barriers and
Hmm.
just go ahead and explode as well.
Right, because I mean, we had so many, which y'all had that rock image as
Exactly.
well. So with the guitars and everything, I mean, then that era with Michael Jackson and with the Dirty Diana, all that kind of stuff. So I
Right.
mean, it's familiar to us as a people. So that sound is not, we don't hear it often from our people, but when we do it, y'all do it right.
I mean, you got to understand, the blues and, Clarksdale, Mississippi, where I was born, a lot of your guitarists will let you know that is where that blues was born in that
Mm.
Clarksdale, Mississippi. So it's not new to me because I grew up listening to blues, and then Jimi Hendrix put the distortion with it, and
Yeah.
then it just becomes contagious. So it's nothing new. It's just that, like you said, the black culture sometimes will do the rock and roll, but not as much as we should. Sometimes we'll do the blues, but not as much as we should. And both are embedded in that heritage.
True, true, true. Now, your new double album is titled No AI. What made you take such a firm stand against AI instrumentation, and why was that message important for you right now?
Well, I don't take a stand against AI. Actually,
Okay.
I've heard some great AI songs. I've heard some people use AI. So, I'm saying, hey, do what you do. I have nothing against anybody doing AI music. I was just saying for my album, when you put it on, know that it was no AI. You know,
Got you, got you, got you, got you.
yeah, we live in an era now where, you have the fans that need to know what's up, and a lot of them want their music a certain way. So I'm just saying, hey, whatever everybody does with AI, totally, I'm not against it. Matter of fact, I think AI is going to help us out in certain
Hmm.
ways. It's just that the Melvin Riley album is no AI.
Nice, nice. And then we used to have auto. I mean, we had auto tunes, so it's always gonna be something, right?
It's always
Something
going to
for
be
you.
something. And, and I'm one of those guys to each his own, do what
Yeah,
you do. But for me, I want my, I got my real bass guitars going in, my real lead guitars, my rhythms, my string lines. So I just want to keep it that way.
nice. When people finish listening to No AI, what do you want them to understand about Melvin Riley today? Not just the legend from Ready for the World, but the artist you are right now.
I want them to hear the album and they'll figure it out. They'll fill in all the blanks once they hear that real home cooked music.
Hmm.
It's like going home and getting the real thing as opposed to eating fast food sometimes. Eating that real good, wholesome food can really do something to your spirit. And the same way with my album, No AI, I want people to put it in and you can push play and let it run.
How long did it take you to record? I mean, a double album. That's a lot of music. How long did it take you to record it?
It took me 2 years to get the album done.
Okay.
I started off with Nothing This Christmas, which I had recorded 2 years ago. And from there, that fever just kept going. And I said, oh, look at, we got an album. And my guy Charvet hit me up. He said, man, you got to put an album out, man. I'm like, yeah, but I just got a few more I got to do. And we talked about it, man. And here we are.
Nice, nice. Who are some of the artists you listen to? You came up listening to, you're listening to today? Who are some of the people that inspire you
Man,
musically?
well, of course, like I said, I grew up listening to blues, B.B. King, Albert King, Johnny Taylor, Bobby Womack, and then just moved from there to Prince and George Clinton, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. These are the guys, Cameo, Larry Blackman. These
Mm.
are guys I grew up listening to and checking out and feeling their vibe. George Clinton is like my top-notch guy. The imagination of George Clinton, the musical aspects of Bernie Worrell, is that just was ridiculous to me, man, and it still is. And I still listen to all of that right now, and I like the Ushers of the world today, the Chris Browns of the world today. I like the rap of today, so yeah, I just the rock
You
and
with
roll,
you with it. You with what's hot.
was good, if it's
It was
good,
good.
I don't have a genre that I turn my back on.
Yeah.
If it's good, that's the way I ride.
Well, I have a question about "Love You Down" because that record is so infectious. It's so like sensual. It's fire. It's like that song is just song is
Thank
one of them ones. Like when y'all was recording that song, did you know? Not, I know you didn't. Like you say you can't predict what's gonna happen with it, but just for yourself and what you knew about music and songs that you like. Like, was that a song that you heard and felt like this is something special, or it was just a bunch of songs you recorded and that became one that became a hit, or did you feel something special about that particular one? And tonight, actually.
That, yeah. I mean, with Love You Down, I did the whole entire song myself, except for the guitar solo. The guitar
Oh
solo
my
was
God.
done by a guy named Gary Spagnola in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Other than that, the entire song of Love You Down was written and played, all instruments played by me and sang by me. And that was one of those songs where I got by myself and said, you know what? Let me vibe this song out, and all of a sudden this little magic happens with songs. And that's
Hmm.
what happened with Love You Down. And then I would record another song, so you never know which song, but each song has to give you what it needs to give you. And Love You Down is one of those songs that I just started from the beginning, finished it. And a lot of songs like Can He Do It Like This and a whole array of them. Tonight, the guitar that I came up with, the vibe on the guitar, and then that magic came. So it's hard to say which is going to be that hit, but
Hmm.
you just got to make sure every song on that album is hot. And I think that brings about that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Cause those two songs, like I mean, they had radio on Smash, Kiss FM, BLS. They was killing those songs at night.
Yeah, man.
Those are the
Yeah.
good old days. Do you miss any part of those times? Like, what do you remember most about those times?
I think the fans, man, the whole energy back then, back then you were star. You know what I'm saying? Girls faint in the audience,
Yeah.
throwing, it was just the fan base was magnetic and it was powerful. And as you grow older, that fan base has not gone nowhere, which is the beauty of it. And they got, of
Black
course,
don't crack.
you're right. You know what I'm saying? It is so great, man, that fan base has followed me from the 80s up until now. And that's really the whole thing, man. You want the fans to feel, what you're feeling when you're in that studio, man. And when they show you that they like, oh, we get it, that's the reward, man. That's the big reward.
Yeah. Well, Melvin, this has been an absolute honor. Thank you for the music that soundtracked our lives, and thank you for keeping real music alive today.
Hey,
So,
I
I mean,
definitely appreciate you, brother, for sure.
any tours you're gonna be touring this album?
Yeah, we're putting shows together now. I've kind of slowed down on doing shows. I've been, touring and doing shows for a long time now. So I'm just doing selective shows.
Mhm.
When it makes sense, then I'll do a show. But for the most part, it's about putting that music out there into the ears, letting people vibe when they're in their cars, in their backyards, hearing this music. And hopefully I'll see you soon.
Yes, and I enjoyed how your take on how you covered those songs on Cadillac, on the Cadillac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I,
that was
yeah,
fun.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Killed that, man. Like I said, it was an honor. Thank you so much. How can the people find you on social media?
Come check me out. My website is iammelvinriley.com. You can go to Melvin Riley on Facebook, and also I am Melvin Riley on Instagram. And come check me out. Let's ride.
So, wait, one more question: do y'all still tour as ready? You still tour as ready for the
Yep,
world?
our tour is ready for the world, or our tour is ready for the world, featuring Melvin Riley, so that they'll know, hey, it's going to be me at the show.
Right.
So, yes,
Is it the
definitely.
original members? Any of the original?
So, yeah, myself and my bass player John Eaton,
Okay.
the original bass player as well, and then we surround ourselves with some guys that grew up with us in the band as well, and
Nice.
and
Well,
still
salute to
doing it. Yeah.
the whole Ready for the World experience from beginning to now. I mean, hopefully I'm in New York, so hopefully you guys
Oh, okay.
will get back to New York and we can
Oh man,
support you and go down memory lane and enjoy these classics and the new music as well.
absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. NY, appreciate y'all through the years, and hey, you might
Yes.
just see me.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. Until next time, my brother, stay blessed and stay safe out here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, brother. Have a blessed one.
You too. Bye bye.